morning, love. It's going to be a great day and a great week. I'm your host, Ariel Chanel, and although it is not Monday, we are in the middle of the week. It is still an amazing time to be with you all. Thank you to everyone who took a moment to watch my dear sister in Christ and friend, Jen Thompson's testimony and story on the Link Media's page. Make sure you continue to support them, support Jen and everything that she's doing. But I had you all watch her story because her testimony is very parallel with a lot of what I'm going to talk about today, and a lot of what I have been dragging my feet to share and been dragging my feet to talk about. But I know it's time, and I know it's time that I say what I need to say. So as always, I start with gratitude, and my gratitude is for Jen being that vessel that God used for her to share her story so that I can have the courage to share mine. So, as you all know, I am a lot of things, a lot of different things. I am a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, employee, whatever it is, all of these different titles that I hold. But I found that I haven't really shared quite a bit about who I really am, or how I've gotten to be where I am, or a lot of the different things in my life and how I ended up being the person that you see today. And I feel that it is time for me to share a bit of my backstory because of where God is taking me and because of what God is calling me to do and where He's calling me to. To get there, I have to be more vulnerable, and I have to open up and share a little bit more of my story. The story of Ariel Chanel Spivey. Not the singer, not anything else, just the story of me. And so I want to take you all back to younger years. When I was younger, I had so many dreams, so many aspirations, and so many different things that I had envisioned for my life. One of those was that I was going to go to school. I was going to get my PhD. I was going to get married, have children, and be in a really good place by the age of 30. That was my goal. I kid you not. And I really ran with that in my mind for years. I remember the first time I thought that. I remember telling my social studies teacher, I'm going to be Dr. Ariel. And she was like, oh, good. Dr. Spivey. And I was like, because I'm going to be married. So I don't know if it's going to be Dr. Spivey. And just all these different conversations and the dreams and everything that I had. But then I went to school. And when I went to school, I started my journey to somehow or another hit this goal of being this professor one day and all these other different things. Things didn't really work out the way that I wanted them to work out. So while I was in school, even though, yes, I technically graduated in 4 years, it was the hardest 4 years of my life. The very first year that I got there was the year that we went through an economic collapse. And at that time, because everything was just a mess financially, I was in a place where my parents really couldn't afford to help me with school. The school couldn't afford to help me with school. And clearly, I had no money to help me with school. And I remember not knowing what I was going to do. Having this time of really just crying. I cried a lot. But somehow or another still pressing forward and still saying, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to, figure it out. I'm gonna make it to the end. And I did, and I kept going. And even though I started out as a chemistry major, I ended up graduating with something completely different. I graduated with a degree in administration of justice because things just weren't really connecting the way I needed them to connect. And at that time, I could not figure out like why it wasn't working or why things just seemed to not be working for me in my life. And that journey of school, I remember being super depressed by the time I got to senior year. If you go back, or even if I could, I believe I have 2 pictures from graduation, like actual pictures of me in my cap and gown. One was taken during the ceremony by somebody, and another was taken with some of my friends at one of it was like the Black student graduation that we had. And it was me and my friends outside. And that was it. I didn't take pictures with my family. I didn't take a lot of pictures with a lot of my different friends. I was over it. I was over school. I was over the process. I didn't know what was next because I did well enough to graduate, but that was pretty much it. Like, I just did okay in school. And for me, it just didn't feel like it was right. It didn't feel like it was enough. I felt like I had let myself down. If I really opened up and let people know that college was not the best for me, that I would have let them down. And then on top of that, I'm leaving with so much debt because I wasn't one of those students who had scholarships. I wasn't one of those students who had, all of the this academic scholarship. And then my family made too much money, so I couldn't get the scholarships based off of how much my family made. And it was a lot. It was a big toll on my mental health. It was a big toll on a lot of things. But the biggest toll it took was I started to throw my dreams away. And all of the things that I had said I wanted for my life when I came into college, I had quickly left by the side of the road. So I come back to Massachusetts after graduation. And when I come back, again, I had left those dreams of becoming a doctor, not medical doctor, by the way, like a doctor that can become a professor doctor. I left those dreams by the wayside. The dream of everything else that was attached to it, just all of it, I had put aside. And I kind of just started moving through life. I got to a place where I was just doing, like just a person that was doing. And even though I loved God and I knew that I was called for something greater than me, I could not figure out like what. And it got to a point where I honestly didn't really believe that God had a plan for me, even though I read it in the Bible, that there was a plan and God had a path and it was a divine direction and all these other different things. I kind of just thought, okay, yeah, maybe that's for other people, not me. And so my dreams I put on hold, and I started just living out different things. These things were all a part of the plan. I'm taking a pause to say, like, it wasn't wrong. Like, the things that I did, they weren't wrong. They were just a part of the journey. They were a part of the redirection. Because all along, God had me safe in his hands, safe in his protection, and safely guiding me back to what he has always planned for me in the long run. And in this journey, in the journey of me putting out music, the journey of me working at the Kroc Center, working for my aunt and her insurance agency, working at the hospital, all of these different things, It was all a path and all a guide to the place where I'm at now and to the point that I made it to now. And when God called me to start Ariel Chanel Enterprise, one of the things that he called me to do was to help people be free to live out who they truly are and live out the path that God has called them to and help them along their journey. But in this, he had to continue to reveal this journey within me and reveal to me how he has done these different things within my life. And so in everything, it was always connected, and everything that he did, it all was a part of his plan for my free life here on earth. So 2022, I had just finished watching my nieces for my sister after launching Ariel Chanel Enterprise, and it was about November, I would say, around October, November, that God started to reveal for me that now was the time for me to begin to pick up the dreams that I had left years ago, because he had a plan for those dreams that he gave me when I was a young girl and for the things that I had envisioned when I was a young girl. And to do that, there were some things that I was going to have to do. And there were some things that were going to happen in my life. And what I want to talk with you all about today, and just the part of the story that I want to really focus on today, as I have been doing, is the education piece. And I began to think about school again and going back to school. The idea came in my mind again, all of a sudden. But it was different this time. This time around, God was calling me to go to school to continue my journey with him. And that it wasn't just me going to school just to get this accolade that I am Dr. So-and-so or all these different things, but because of the work that he's called me to do. I fought it. I fought it so hard. I'm not going to sit here and act like as soon as God was like, I think it's time for you to go back to school. I think it's finally time for you to go and pursue your master's. I wasn't having it. I wasn't hearing it because, again, as I said, when I started to let a lot of those things go, it was because financially, my life was wrecked, like absolutely wrecked, because of everything that I went through in the past with undergrad. And I remember praying and just saying, God, if this is really what you want me to do, I need you to make a way, because I can't do it. I am already still trying to recover from years ago and what happened in undergrad. And I'm still trying to pull myself up and just be able to really like wade in the water. And now you want me to go back to school? Like, I don't even think I could get a student loan if I tried to, because they're just going to laugh at me if I try to go and apply for a loan. You want me to go back to school? Well, if you want me to go back to school, God, I need you to make a way. I need you to be the one to make a way for me to do this. But he kept pressing on my heart to just try, just apply, give it a shot. Don't worry about it. Don't think about what happened before. Don't think about the past. Give it a try. So I did. I went to the Explore Seminary at Gordon Conwell. And as I go there and as I am sitting in this room, I could just feel God telling me, you're meant to be here. this is your season for you to be here. This is your time for you to be here. And I had to trust and believe that God was going to make a way and that God was going to do it. In the process of me sitting there and having this moment, they started to talk about a program called the Partnership Program. The Partnership Program for Gordon Conwell is a program to help students make it through seminary without having to incur such large financial burden and such large debts. And as I'm talking with the person who is over the partnership program, I started to think, why not? Why not give it a try? Why not see if you could apply and get into this program? So at the same time that I applied for grad school, I applied to get into the partnership program. Wouldn't you believe, I got in. I got into the partnership program and I got into seminary. So now I'm on this new journey and I have a choice that I have to make. Because the thing about the partnership program is, yes, it's a scholarship program for students at Gordon Conwell, but it's a program that is heavily based on faith and works. And to have the faith and put the work in at the same time. So there is still work that I have to do for this program to work for me. Again, it's called the Partnership Program, and that is where I have to have people partner with me on my journey along seminary and be a part of my path to getting my master's. And I have sat on this for a little while. And the reason why I've sat on it and not really talked about it, not shared that I've been accepted into this program, was for many reasons. Because yes, the idea of this time around being able to do it without having this financial burden over my head was amazing. But having to ask people to come along beside me and to help me out was very scary. It was very scary. And I had to fight some of the doubts and the thoughts in my mind. Now, I don't know if you remember, but a few seasons ago, I talked about if and the word if and how if is like a guard in our minds. And when we put if in the wrong place, it can mess us up and it can derail us. And that was what was happening for me. I was literally doing the very thing that I talked about with you guys. And I started to say, but what if people don't want to help me? And what if people don't understand? And what if people just don't have it? Like what if I don't find the people to help me out? Yeah, there's this cool opportunity, but am I still going to have to take up this burden even though I know that I can't afford to do it? I can't afford to take it up. And I started to pause and I started to think, because this wasn't the only area in my life that I was having these doubts and having these moments of like, okay, God, I believe that you are opening doors that you said you were going to open, but what if? And I had a moment where I paused and said, Ariel, what if God is right? Have you ever considered that? And what if what he said is true? And what if he is going to come through and he is going to do the very thing that you've been believing for? If that's the case, what are you going to do? So I decided, finally, it's been a while, guys. If you have been watching my page, you know I've been accepted into school for like a little bit. But I finally decided now to be bold and be courageous and to take this stand and to ask whoever hears this, whoever is listening, if you are willing to partner with me in my journey in seminary, in helping me get to the next level in God that He is calling me to, and get to the next place that He has for me. It's a journey that I know I will be on for the next 2 years at least. I'm trying to keep it at about 2 years. 3 at max. But however long, if you're able to partner with me for even 1 month of the journey, I would greatly appreciate it. And it's something that I would like for you to pray about, because I know not everybody can walk this road with me. But I know there are some people who are called to do it. And I know there are some people who are willing to do it. So my ask today, as I talk to you all, is that you would either partner with me financially, partner with me in prayer, or if you're listening to this, if you're watching this video and you know somebody who may be able to partner with me in either of those 2 areas, please share the information with them. Now, this partnership is a month-to-month commitment. It is something where you would come beside me every month if you're helping financially, and you would give to the partnership program on my behalf to help build up not just me, but others that are a part of this program. And so I will have the information for you in the description on the video. But if you are listening to this and you feel that you would like to be a part of helping me on my journey with this next step, with this second time around, with this doing it God's way, I ask that you please reach out to me. Let me know. You can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, wherever it is. If you don't have my personal information, you could send me an email at hello@arielchanel.com. That would get to me as well if you would like more information. And I'll also put the link to where you can go to Gordon Conwell and sign up for being a partner with me with the partnership program. This is a big ask. This was something that was very hard for me to do. And so I just want to thank you for taking the moment. If you did get to the end, and if you have listened to this the whole way through, if you aren't able to partner with me, that's okay. I just appreciate your support in everything. Whether it was watching my videos, listening to my music, or just being there to give me an encouraging word throughout life. I truly do appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to continue to push forward. I'm going to continue to put if in its rightful place, and to know that with God, all things are possible. And there's nothing too hard for Him. And if He's leading me to something and He's calling me to do something, then He knows the way, He knows the path, He knows the end from the beginning. And so I hope that this will also inspire you, if there's something in your life that God is calling you to or calling you to do, to not be afraid, to step out on faith and to put in the work that you need to put in, so that way, one, God can get the glory, but you can also see the reward from it. So I will be continuing to share my journey with you all. If you are a partner with me, you'll be getting more insight on my journey. You'll definitely be getting deep inside scoop on what's going on with me and my journey with the seminary. And again, I just thank you all. I thank you all for taking this time to listen to me. And so that is all that I have to share. If you have more questions as well, please hit me up. Let me know. Let me know what it is that you want to know. If there's anything that you want to know more about. If you want to know why I thought that I was going to have all of these things by the age of 30 and how that was going to happen and what was going on in my mind back then, send me a message. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Whatever it is, I want to be more transparent with you all, and I want to share more about what's going on in my life for real. So thank you. Thank you for your time. I will see you all on Monday. I will be back. It is a holiday, but I will share something for you all on Monday. So enjoy the rest of your week. Have a blessed day. Bye. That's all for now on Good Morning Love. You can continue talking with me on Instagram at Ariel Chanel or on Facebook at Ariel Chanel Music. Let me know what you think. And until next time, remember, always wake up with love.